Good evening, CFT Nation. We are live for our fifth episode, I believe, Kevin? Fifth episode called Public Liability. We do have a studio audience. So let's hear it, studio audience. It's our first studio audience, so it might be interesting with some of the characters out there.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
As you know, my name is Ray Roskis, and I am co-host of CFT Live. And with me is English teacher and CFT president, Wendy Lockman. Wendy, how are you today?
Well, I've been really looking forward to this. I'm great.
You've done a lot of work to get people here.
Yes. Yes.
So public liability. We've planned this show for a week now. We've been talking through it. But before we get into that, because I know everyone here is waiting to find out what we're going to talk about, let's talk about how they can help us, the viewers out there, how they can help us grow the show.
Well, there's a lot of things they can do, and there's going to be more ways to help us, but we need them to watch the podcast. We need their friends to watch the podcast, like it, put in comments, interact with our social media. You want to talk more about our social media that we're...
Yeah, so Facebook, we're doing a lot on Facebook. Just so everyone here knows and everyone watching at home knows, we gave really explicit instructions to our audience members.
Now you know what it's like to be a teacher.
Yes, I do. All right, so where was I?
You're talking about the new platforms.
Facebook, okay.
Yes.
So Facebook, just so everyone knows, since September 1st, we just went over 1 million views on Facebook. Pretty crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. Kevin has hooked us up with, we're now going to be on Instagram and TikTok. Have no idea what either of those are, but he's going to take care of us. So thank you, Kevin, for that. Let's give a round of applause for our producer, Kevin. So as Wendy said, like our shows, comment. The more comments we have, the better on the show, the interaction. What we're going to do today on our show, Public Liability, we're going to use the audience members that are in virtual land and the audience members that are here. We're going to use them to live fact check some of the things that we're saying. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
And how we're going to do that, just so everyone knows, the audience members have 2 cards, and it's green, the green one.
It's a green in real life.
It's green in real life, and red. And as we kind of talk through our show, they're going to hold up a truth or a lie symbol to fact check the superintendent in real time.
I think that's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, so you want to get right into it?
I do. So
public liability. There's the graphic. So the superintendent's made a lot of comments in the public.
in an interview lately.
Yeah, so in the paper, on the news a few times,
Yes.
actually the BND twice, he's said quite a bit.
And well, he says a lot of words, but he says the same words.
Same kind of 3 things over and over. You want to talk about those 3 things?
So we've heard a couple of times about our sick leave.
Yep.
And he always uses 6,000 days
Right.
for educational workers. So that's one of the things we've heard that a couple of times.
Right.
And we've talked about it before, but we're gonna touch on it again.
Right.
Um,
He talks about how contract language hasn't been changed in
Yep.
over 50 years on our contract.
over 50 years. We've heard that a couple of times now.
50 years is a long time.
It is.
And we'll talk about how we're going to deal with that. What was the last thing he said in his talking points?
Something about helping kids.
Yeah, that the contract isn't in the best interest of students. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about the first one, sick leave. And I know we're belaboring this point that we have talked about it over and over. We made a Facebook post about it. But I think since he keeps saying it, we should probably deal with it again real quick.
I think we have a graphic, don't we?
We do. So the graphic up, again, just real quick, district, we requested some information. Superintendent said that educational staff have used over 6,000 days of sick leave in the last school year. and they gave us some information from them. This is their information. It's an Excel spreadsheet that I did some mathing on. And when you take out for FMLA days, long-term kind of disability things, pregnancies, those types of things, surgeries, what you come up with is 5,854 days. Now, he says 6,000 days in 1 year.
In 1 year.
The information they gave us is over 5 years, right?
That's a big difference.
Yeah. So then I took it a step further. You have 400 members divided by 400. Total days that removing FMLA and those types of things is 4,814. When you divide it out over the 5 years, it's actually 5.8 days per teacher per year. That doesn't sound like sick leave abuse to me.
It's not sick leave abuse.
Okay. Kevin, you want to throw up the other graphic? So looking at those numbers, teacher attendance rate in COKIT, they're in the classroom 97% of the time.
And I think when we put this up before, because we've showed this before,
Mhm.
I think it validates for our members that we don't abuse our sick leave. It's insulting to be told you abuse your sick leave, especially when you have that kind of an attendance rate.
Correct. So, but let's use his number hypothetically for a second.
Okay.
Let's assume that teacher and staff use 6,000 days. Okay. So I did a little more math on this. If you divide it by 400 people, that's 15 days per year. Doesn't sound like a lot.
No, and my husband did that right when he heard it on the news.
Yeah.
Well, that's not sick leave abuse.
Right. So there's 3 types of workers. There's a 180-day schedule, there's a 210-day schedule, and a 260-day schedule. If you kind of divide those out and get a percentage, 180-day workers, they're in the classroom. That's like teachers, paraprofessionals. They're in the classroom 89% of the time. But these are his numbers. They're not real numbers. They're his numbers.
Right.
210-day workers, there's some 10.5-month employees. They're 93% at work. And then 260-day workers, year-round workers, they're 94% of the time at work. So again, even if you used his numbers,
It's misleading.
Yeah.
The number sounds terrible. You hear 6,000 days. Oh my goodness. But when you actually look at what the numbers mean, it's quite the opposite.
right? That's kind of what he has done. Okay, so let's talk about the last one because we're going to focus on this show on the middle one. Let's talk about the last one real quick. That our contracts, the language in the contracts, aren't in the best interests of the students.
Yeah, that could almost be a whole show.
Well, it's going to be 1 or 2 shows, and it's going to be around what he does and how it's not in the best interest of students. So we're going to save that.
Definitely.
So we're going to focus on kind of the second quote that we talked about, which is the contract hasn't changed in over 50 years. So I've bargained with you since 2015, so the last 10 years. Have we changed the contract?
A bunch.
Yeah, a bunch. But we're going to do something even better.
I'm so excited about this because one of the nerdiest parts of my personality is I love contracts. I save old contracts. I have copies of contracts for jobs I've never worked.
Right. That's funny.
So this was interesting to me to look at some.
So what are we going to do? Because I've been talking a lot.
We're going back to the 1970s, and
Yes,
we're going to look at contracts from 50 years ago.
So we have the 1974-75 contract.
We do.
Typed on a typewriter. And we're going to compare the 74-75 contract to the 24-25 contract 50 years later. And we're going to use you to fact check some of his statements.
Because he keeps saying it to the press. I mean, the reason why we have to do this is because these contracts haven't changed in 50 years. So
yeah, I even made a comment in bargaining when they asked when was the last time this was changed, and what did I say?
50 years.
50 years ago. Kevin, you want to pull up the contract? So we're not going to go through the whole contract because when you look at the 74-75 contract, Wendy, it's 19 pages long. Very basic information. How many pages is the 24-25 contract?
And you're getting 51 pages.
Wow. So there's, how many pages difference is that?
32.
32 pages that weren't in the 74-75 contract.
So we've added 32 pages of text.
So that's impossible then for it to be
Yep.
no change in the contract for 50 years,
Agree.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's get right into it. We're not going to go through the whole contract because we have 50 something articles. We're going to go through the first 14 in an effort to save time. And I think you're going to see a theme here as we go through this. So
And you guys need to have your cards ready.
yes, and we'll tell you, and you'll know when to have your cards ready. And just for everyone out there, the instructions we gave the audience was, we're going to ask you a question. They have 2 cards, truth and lie. And the question, you know, we want them to be honest and make their own decision. And we're going to fact check in real time and see what they think.
And can we show them? Like,
The camera's going to flip. We're going to let them know. And then we'll have them hold up one of their cards.
I saw my vice president say something stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
You're on camera.
right. This show's a lot easier to do when no one's out there. All right, so let's start. Kevin, go to page 2, please. All right, so what you're looking at is the preamble of the contract. And I know you all can't see it, but you're just going to have to listen to the words we say and make your decision. You're looking at a preamble that is a whole page long, and I'll hold it up for you guys to see. Preamble is in the 1974-75 contract. Is that?
It's got really neat language, by the way.
It does. You want to just give a flavor?
Whereas the board and union believe in the importance of schools as an agency for the preservation and extension of our democracy, and whereas the parties of this agreement have a common goal of providing the best possible education for all children. And it goes on and on.
Yeah, it's good
It's nice.
language.
Mhm.
Maybe we should include that back in the 24.
Proposal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for every one of you, this is in the 74-75 contract, not in the 24-25 contract.
So all this language, there's no preamble.
So at some point from 74 to 75 until now, it got deleted. You want to flip the camera around, Kevin? So the question I have for you is, Superintendent McCall says that the CBA hasn't been changed in 50 years. Based on what we just showed you, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Page 2, Kevin. Page 3. All right. Next section is definitions. There's about a page and a half of definitions. And in the definitions, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs that were in the 1974-75 contract that are not in the 24-25 contract.
So like the blue, all this stuff wasn't there. This wasn't there.
The blue was not there, correct? It's in the new contract. Sorry, I said that backwards. The blue is in the new contract that wasn't in the 74-75. You're correct. So again, we're going to ask you to hold up your cards in a second. Don't do it yet. Kevin, you want to flip? Fact, truth or lie? Superintendent McCall that the contract hasn't been changed in 50 years. You want to hold your signs up? Okay, it's a lie.
It is a lie.
It is a lie. You want to talk about the recognition, Article 1?
So the recognition clause, one page looks pretty much the same. You'll see some yellow highlight. This is stuff that they're proposing, but it goes into a second page. And this time we've used green, and there's, I don't know, 2 pretty good sized paragraphs that was the contract, right?
Yes.
That was it.
Yep. That was all that was there.
So all this other we've added.
Yep. So flip the camera. Sorry, Kevin, I'm killing you, but
You're doing great, producer.
all right. Truth or lie? Yep. It's a lie again.
It's a lie again.
Article 2, fair practices. That is the same language as 1974.
Yes.
So I'll say it.
Mhm.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Article 2 is the same.
We're fair. I don't think he would ever say anything we said is truthful, but It's true. Let's go into professional negotiations, Article 3. Want me to talk through this one?
Sure.
So there's about a page and a half of professional negotiations. There's language in the blue, and that is language that was in the 1974-75 contract that is not in the 24-25 contract. So once again, let's go to the audience. The fact that Superintendent McCall said contract hasn't changed in 50 years, truth or lie? That is a lie. They all said it.
I feel a pattern.
I feel a pattern here.
Okay.
Article 4, you want to talk through that one?
So Article 4 is the use of our school day. And basically, it's about this half sheet, okay? The only part of this part that you're looking at that was in the 74-75 contract was a little bitty bit. All this other stuff in the past 50 years we've added. Truth or lie?
And it's a lie. All right. It's interesting. I do want to make a point here, though. Some of the things that he's doing is he's saying that we've got to change some of this contract language because it hasn't been changed in 50 years. But in some of these articles, what is he actually doing?
So a lot of the things that he's proposing deleting would basically, in a sense, bring it back to what it was 50 years ago. 50 years of bargaining erased, and it goes back to this very simplistic language that really isn't worth all that much. It's
right. It's
doesn't
turning
offer
back
many-
the clock on rights for your members. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. School year. Same page, Kevin. School year is a very short paragraph. It's here in yellow and blue. The blue section, this is all current contract language. The blue section was not in the 74-75 contract. So they've added that sometime between 1974 and now. So I'm going to flip the camera. He's already doing that. You're way ahead of me. Truth or lie, audience? It's a lie.
So Article 6, classroom interruptions, it's a pretty short article anyway, but it was even shorter in 1974. In 1974, it only said classroom interruptions are to be held to 2-minute minimum. Okay, so it was just this one little short sentence, but we have a little bit more.
Yeah. So over the years, some language has been added to the 74-75 contract.
Yes.
So we'll flip the camera around one more time. And they're already ahead of us, and they are saying it's a lie. Article 7. So extracurriculars, this was kind of your baby 3 or 4 negotiations ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, kind of. I'm still upset about it. So there's a lot of language here. It's roughly 2.5 pages of language for extracurriculars, sponsors, sports, those types of things. And what you see in the blue at the bottom of this page, top of that page, that was all that was in the contract in 1974-75. So throughout the years, we have gained rights. We have made things like we have bidding rights on, or we get seniority rights on extracurriculars, which we now don't have. But what he really wants to do is go back to the language of 74-75, where the district has all control over extracurriculars. So with that said, 2 pages of stuff has been added to the contract since 74-75. Superintendent McCall says that the contract hasn't been changed in 50 years. So flip the camera, Kevin, and we're going to ask the audience, truth or lie? And that is a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah. Well, let's take a pause here.
Okay.
We're about halfway through.
Yes.
What time is it?
Well, I think it's time to go home.
So we did our last show on our unfair labor practice charge, where the superintendent and the deputy superintendent broke the law. And I guess the BND watches our show because they did an article on it a day or two later.
Yes.
So that's your McCall and you out today. We're going to talk a little bit about that article where he's quoted. You were quoted. I was quoted in the paper.
You got your picture in.
I did. Yeah. It was an old picture, but I don't know where to go from there. The superintendent said a lot again. So we're going to just talk through in the McCall and you out of a few things that he did say in the article. So
we're being really factual too. We're going to use his direct quotes from the article and talk through them, right?
Yep, we are.
Okay.
So his first quote he said in the article is, "Neither myself nor the school district broke the law." That's number one.
Mm-hmm. But that we know that's.
They're saying that's a lie. I mean, if you want to put it up, that's fine. We actually in the ULP show put up the judge's order, the administrative law judge, and what he said. What kind of things did he say about how McCall actually broke the law?
Well, the judge talked about things like that Mr. McCall degraded and belittled the union in his speech to staff. So that was one thing. He told his employees to ignore their union and get information straight from him. So that's breaking the law.
Yeah, he doesn't want your union members to listen to things you're saying because he wants them to believe what he's saying. Mm-hmm. He also said he mocked the safety concerns that we were trying to bargain around the welcome wagon.
Yes.
What else did he do?
Humiliated the union leaders by forcing them, I would be one of those people, to ride in a police car.
Yeah, so just for everyone here,
the other person's here.
They were assigned to buses to go out into the community. They call Wendy and Aaron, vice president, president, to the front of the room in front of all of the membership, in front of all of the employees, non-union employees as well. And they basically say, "We got a special ride for you. You're not riding the bus anymore. You're going to ride in a police car." Yeah. You say anything else?
So this one is really problematic for me, but he didn't accommodate employees with health problems. And so we had people who were pregnant. We had people with back problems, doctor's notes to justify all of this, but they were forced to stack chairs. They had to clean the auditorium, manual labor.
Yeah, stack, I don't know, 500-600 chairs in the auditorium.
Yes.
And we're going to actually talk to one of those people here shortly.
Yes, we are.
What else was he quoted as saying in the paper?
So we also have, we didn't do anything out of the ordinary.
Is any of that ordinary?
Not for me.
Yeah, not for me either. Third thing he said, and this one really is, I'm going to pick my words carefully here. Interesting. Mm-hmm. He said, "Quite honestly, I'm not understanding the complaint itself."
He has lawyers that help him through it.
Right.
He's quoted. They quote him in their
response. Mm-hmm. He was quoted as saying, "I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I didn't say this. I didn't say that." Yes. But yet he didn't understand any of that.
Nope.
Yeah. He also said that the stacking chairs, that no one was forced to do it, even though they were told to do it. The last kind of thing he said was that they didn't want, they accepted a default judgment, right? So they accepted that they broke the law. They accepted our remedy. And he said they did that because they would have to travel to Chicago, and that was not possible when actively negotiating contracts and doing other district business.
It's a shame he doesn't have more help to help him so that he can take these kinds of trips.
That's exactly where I was going. He's got, I don't know, 3 assistant superintendents, an HR director, a bunch of directors. So yeah.
Parent liaison, something or another. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about the first part. He said because we were negotiating, he couldn't go. How often do we negotiate?
Once a week.
How long are our meetings?
20, 30 minutes.
Right. So he had 6 days and 23 hours and 45 minutes each week to go to Chicago. So anyway, that is your McCall and you out.
It's kind of a pattern, though.
It's a very bad pattern. Well, let's get back to our main segment. We're on Article 8, and audience members, get your answers ready for this next piece. And these next ones are going to go kind of quick.
So Article 8 is about materials and curriculum, and it's really pretty much the same-ish. Okay, so not a lot has changed on that one. We could probably let him have that. That article really hasn't changed a ton.
Right. How big of you to say he's actually telling the truth on the little part? Number 9 deals with supply orders. In the current contract, it's like a very short sentence. It was not in the 74-75 contract. So Kevin, you want to flip to them? And looks like it's a lie.
It's another lie.
Yeah.
So Article 10 is about our faculty lounge, and the 74-75 language was very straightforward. Each school shall be provided with a clean, attractive, comfortable teacher's lounge. So it's about a sentence. And then we have 2 paragraphs now. So that's changed by a bit. So truth or lie?
That one is a lie. Article 11. Let's see, I'm out of order here, Wendy. Staff meetings. There was 0 language in the 74-75 contract. I guess teachers didn't have to meet in 74-75.
I'm not sure.
And now we have 2 fairly sized paragraphs that deal with staff meetings, how they're done. So flip the camera. Superintendent McCall assertion that 50 years contract language hasn't changed is a lie. 2 more.
So
3 more.
Article 12, I kind of feel like I was part of this, but new teacher assistants, it's all new language. It wasn't there at all. So all of this paragraph is brand new to the contract. So truth or lie, has our contract changed?
Yeah, that would be a lie.
Yes.
And personnel records, we now have 2 paragraphs that are here. And in 74-75, there was a basic paragraph statement that talked about what the personnel record would look like. So there was clearly language added in the last 50 years around your personnel record. Truth or lie, personnel records haven't changed in the last 50 years. And that would be a lie.
Lie.
Yeah. Last one.
Article 14, class size. And the class size article was quite a bit smaller. The blue language at the bottom was 74-75 language. So there's a bit of new stuff. Again, it looks like they want to take away some things. So we might be back where we started. So, but truth or lie? I'm sorry, Kevin, I'm not telling you very much.
That would be a lie.
Another lie.
So 2 things I want to point out. One, in about a third of what we just showed in Article 1 through 14, Superintendent McCall wants to take us back 50 years in the past, where COCIA was a fairly new union, wasn't too old. The contract was only 19 pages long. The administration had a lot more power to do things with teachers, and he wants to take us back to that time.
You know, I don't think I would want to go back to that time if I was Mr. McCall. That might sound kind of rosy in theory, but in 1975, the Cahokia School Board and superintendent had some kind of crazy ideas then too.
Mm-hmm.
And they arrested teachers and put them in jail, and didn't work out the way they thought.
What happened to the superintendent of the school board?
He was let go.
Oh, okay.
And so the board was disbanded.
Yeah.
So. I think that they forgot that those guys are our heroes, and we're never letting them down.
Right. The other thing I want to point out with this is we have, I think, 50 something articles in the contract.
Yeah.
And you know, based on what you saw today, we could do that with each one of those articles, and you would see the exact same pattern.
Yeah.
That there's language that has changed. I mean, there's a few that haven't changed, but
wouldn't that be true of every place though? That every place there's certain things in contracts that are just part of contracts. Everybody's going to have some sort of language for a recognition clause. There's going to be certain things that are only going to change so much anyway.
For sure. So what, I guess we'll put a graphic up that kind of shows the general consensus of our live audience on what they thought about.
I'm looking forward to this. I don't think I've seen this.
Audience fact check.
Live.
And it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
We've got a smart audience.
So let's take a question from the audience. We had our audience members, and I'll have you do one, and I'll do the more technical one. Which one do you want to do? You pick one.
Oh, I definitely want to do this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the questions is, are there any other locals going through this? And by this, I think they mean like that they don't have a contract right now. I'm not sure that anybody's going through this exact thing because it's a bit unusual.
Assure you there is no one going through what you're going through.
But we do have brothers and sisters in Southern Illinois. We want to give them a shout out because West Frankfort, Local 817, they're absolutely going through this. Ray, you can speak to it more than I can. Didn't they just vote to strike with a really strong vote?
Yeah, I went down for one of my colleagues who wasn't here, and they did a strike vote. And they have 114 members, 103 showed up for the strike vote, and the strike vote was 103-0 to go on strike. We filed the intent to strike the next day, and the intent to strike notice is a 10-day notice, and 6 days or where they're at. They have 6 more days before they go on strike, or they could go on strike, I guess I should say.
Well, and there's just a ton of support for them. Everybody here is pulling for them. We've got people in our local, people from all over SWAC, so they've got the IFT behind them.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out to
Shout out to
817, Tim Aldridge and his group of teachers. So it's interesting you picked that question because the question that I was going to pick is, what is the timeline for us to file an intent to strike? So we've had this question in our membership meetings before. There's a lot of your members that wanted to go on strike, already. The fact is there's a lot of legal hoops that we have to jump through. For instance, we have to get to impasse, which when we meet once a week for 20 minutes, it's going to take a long time to get the impasse, considering the teachers haven't even received a financial offer from Superintendent McCall since June. So that's one. Two, once we reach impasse, we have to go into federal mediation. The government shut down now, so federal mediators aren't working. So mediation isn't even available yet. So you have to schedule mediation. You have to be in mediation. After that, then we have to post public notices through the Educational Labor Relations Board. There's a waiting period. You send them in, there's a 10-day waiting period. They post them, they have to be posted for 14 days. Then you can file an intent to strike notice. Once you file the intent to strike notice, before that, you have to take a strike vote, you file a notice. So it's a lengthy process, and we are not even close to what West Frankfort just did.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
It is not a bad thing.
I think it gives us time to be very thoughtful about when we want to do it, if we want to do it. So, and to be ready. So
I agree.
When people are like, we need to go today, I think, let's take our time. Let's be smart.
Right. What the superintendent doesn't understand is this is your timeline, not his. So you get to decide with your membership what the timeline is for you. So yeah, we're organizing our members. We're energized by what we have done with them and how they're responding. And we have some members here today. And so yeah, we're looking really good, but it's going to be a while. We just got to follow the law, unlike some other parties.
Okay, are we?
So what do you think? Do you want to talk to a few audience members?
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, just for everyone out there, this might look a little awkward because we're gonna get up and we're gonna go out into the audience and talk to people. The camera's gonna flip around. We'll try to do it as gracefully as we can, but
It's just gonna be very informal. That's how we're.
yeah. So let's go do it. We'll take a few audience members and
Okay.
go from there. Who do you want to do first?
So I kind of thought it'd be fun to start with Carrie.
Okay. Carrie Lee,
Come
right
up
here.
here.
Come on up here.
I've been trying, I stepped out to try to keep it quiet.
So Carrie is a teacher in the district. Carrie, how long have you been with the district?
So this is my 9th year as a teacher, and I was a literacy assistant for 2 years before that, so 11 years.
Okay. Carrie, Carrie's a teacher. You're a teacher at the high school?
Yes, I teach 2 doors from Wendy, English
Okay.
teacher at the high school.
Awesome. And you show up at almost everything we do, so thank you for
Yeah,
that.
try.
Awesome. Yeah.
She's had some amazing posts.
Yeah, she has. She has. So we want to talk to you about the welcome wagon and one in particular statement that Superintendent McCall made around people with accommodations
Mm-hmm,
that they had to stack chairs.
mm-hmm,
So you were one of those people.
I was.
And
Yeah, I was.
And,
Perfect.
and at that time,
I
she
was,
wasn't here.
yeah, I was 7 months pregnant with this one when
Right.
that happened.
And one of the people that we tried to get accommodations for was you because you were pregnant.
Yeah.
And we talked to the superintendent about, being on a bus all day, walking in and out of the community, hot, no bathroom breaks,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. So we wanted special accommodations for people like you. What did you have to do instead of going on the bus with your colleagues?
Instead of going on the bus, I was approached by Deputy Superintendent Tanya Mitchell, and she told us that our alternative was stacking the chairs in the gym.
And you actually made a post about stacking the chairs.
I
and there
took
was
video of the chairs that I stacked.
right, and it wasn't like a few chairs.
No.
It was a whole gym full of chairs.
Yeah. It was the chairs that held the whole district staff for the.
Yeah.
For the
That's
welcome speech.
insane.
That's insane.
Insane.
So one other question I have for you. You're super informed about what's going on. Not only do you have the union president 2 doors down from you,
Yes.
but you've been at every meeting. How has the contract negotiations that we're going through made you feel as a professional, as a teacher in the high school of 9 years?
I think it definitely makes us feel like we're not being treated as professionals. I went on FMLA last year for maternity leave, and I still have over 80 days of sick days left. So that just goes to show how few days I've ever used
Right.
and can't use any of them. My mom, we're really lucky, is my childcare, but she's, in her 60s. So if she has a health issue, and which she has, then I'm without childcare and I can't take a sick day to stay home with her because I don't have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So that puts us in a bind and has for a couple times already this year. And, we don't want to be out of the classroom away from our students, but at the end of the day, it's a job and it's not just my livelihood anymore. Now I have to think of providing for her too. So it's scary.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You want anything?
Well, it's just the unintended consequences
Yes.
of these rules and policies and how they really impact humans in our
Yeah.
district. It's heartless, and sometimes people think it's a good idea at first, but like her situation.
Right.
Sorry, I think somebody's stealing my thunder.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She's
Well,
got something to say about it.
Thank you, Carrie. Give it up for Carrie.
Or the community members?
Sure. Let's talk to a community member.
Okay, Tramika Conway. And I've known Miss Conway for a while, so I was really happy to see her here. Hello,
Hey there.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful.
You want to?
We just kind of wondered what the community perspective is on what they're seeing. Like you're hearing some of the things we're bringing forward. We're without a contract all this time. You kind of know what's going on in schools. What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are it's crazy. I applaud the teachers for continuing to show up every day, continue to give to our children because it's for the children, and they show up and they're stressed, but they're still showing up and giving back to our children. And it's all a lot of myth.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're a taxpayer. Does any of this bother you as a taxpayer?
Yes, it does. I also was a parent in the district. I removed my kids from the district because of a lot of the stuff that was going on that my children couldn't get the services that they needed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
terrible.
not right.
What? I just have one more question for you. What message as a community member do you have for teachers and staff going through this?
I'm continuing to pray for you all. I'm with you all 100%. You all have a lot of the community behind you, a lot of the lives. I applaud both of you all for bringing this, for starting this live, because a lot of the things, a lot of the community did not know. This has been going on for years, and it's been swept under the rug. I'm glad that the fire has been put up under their feet, so now they either have to ship up or shape out.
Kristen Olson, let's talk to Kristen.
So this is a member of our bargaining team, Kristen Olson, and she's the secretary at large of our union and reading teacher.
Yes.
How long have you been in the district?
Oh, since 2002. I also student taught in the district, so really since 2000. A long time.
Yeah, long time.
Mhm.
So you're on the bargaining team.
Yes, I am.
So obviously I think you've been at every meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. How has the nonsense that's happening, meeting after meeting, how's that made you feel, not only as a bargaining team member, but as a professional teacher in the classroom?
Oh, I would say first disheartened,
Mhm.
sad, tend to leave the meetings sad, just being here so long to see what's going on, and disrespected, just really disrespected. We're professionals. I work with some amazing people that would do anything for these students, and to see them disrespected at all these meetings, and it's just very disheartening and sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
What's the mood like in your building?
The mood is everybody's just trying to do their best, but everybody's nervous. It's unsettled. It's unsettled.
What, as bargaining team member, as an officer, what message would you have for just a rank and file member, first year teacher, second year teacher, whoever that isn't in the know? What message would you have for them?
To definitely get involved, reach out. You got an awesome team here for you. To reach out, get involved, get in the fight.
Yeah,
Strengthen numbers.
for sure. 100%. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lastly, Stephanie Maddox. Stephanie's a teacher in another district that I represent. Stephanie and I go back a ways with bargaining, and so figured we would get your perspective. So you've been kind of watching from the sidelines. You and I have talked multiple times over what's happening. As a union leader in Wolf Branch, where you're at, have you ever seen anything like this that Wendy's dealing with in Cahokia in your school district?
No. First, to hear that a bargaining session only lasts 20 minutes is unheard of. How do you sit at the table and talk about your concerns and have any conversation or productive conversation if you're up and leaving in 20 minutes? So no, that I can't say that I've negotiated quite a few contracts alongside Ray, and our sessions would usually last probably anywhere from 2 to 3 hours at the minimum on any given night we sit down at the table.
Right. So there's back and forth, there's dialogue, there's collaboration,
Absolutely.
all those things. What, let's see, what else do I want to ask you? I want to ask you, do you have any questions for him?
So when you hear just like the general of like all the different things that are going on, how does that feel to you? Does that seem okay? Does that seem like any place you've ever heard of?
No, it feels completely disrespectful. Like there's no collaboration going on. The idea, we've had the conversations before about things you deal with in your district that kind of flabbergast me. Nonetheless, in my time in our district, I've been there 25 years. I don't believe there's ever been a ULP filed. Because we take the time to collaborate between administration, school board. We sit down. As a matter of fact, we meet weekly, or not weekly, monthly, after our board meeting with our admin team to talk proactively about concerns that whether the teachers have, admin has, to kind of work to an agreement that kind of benefits both sides so we don't have to get to those points of contention. Talking about being placed in the back of a police car, I about died when you said that. I mean, as a leader, being put in that position and being humiliated, and not humiliated, but just made to feel less than, it's just disrespectful. It's just not what a true leader, if McCall was indeed one, would do, trying to work with somebody else or a teacher or a staff member. Trying to think about what else. I had lots of things over there. ULP, we talked about that. Just, our superintendent is very straightforward with finances. That's another thing when we meet. Finances are always brought to the table. Very honest and open about that. Talking about going back to the episode about Ed Hightower and needing the consulting firm to build a school. Our district, our middle school sunk. We all went into one building, and I'm pretty sure that Scott Harris, our superintendent at the time, did not get paid any extra money outside of his salary to oversee the middle school being rebuilt. It was just him and the contractor, so there was no extra person brought in. The idea of your levels of administration are a little crazy too. The titles you guys have. We basically have a superintendent. Of student services, but there's nothing else. Some of these made up titles are.
Well, let's not give away any titles because we're going to do it. So let's give it up for Stephanie. All right, we're going to go back. All right, well, that was fun.
It was fun.
So where are we? We're getting close to the end.
Oh, we need
We're
to talk
about
about.
50 minutes.
Yep, we need to talk about upcoming board meetings.
Yep, and bargaining. So why don't you?
So November
Take it there.
10th is our next school board meeting. So we're going to put that out there because, of course, I guess there's maybe a chance we could have a contract by then, but I'm not hopeful. So we're going to want people to pass.
You know what they say
again.
about snowballs, right?
We also have a bargaining session October 21st. And we want people, again, to just keep doing what they're doing. We really appreciate how many people listen to the podcast and are really interactive, and that they've made our story and our students' story, something that people are talking about.
Yeah, for sure. What else? We're going to be on TikTok soon. We're going to be on Instagram, thanks to producer Kevin, because neither you or I could figure that out. Like everything, which everyone's doing already. Have a lot of comments. Kevin, anything that stood out to you? I see we love Mrs. Olson. That's a good one. All right. Let's see.
Big points.
Big points. In the last show, we kind of talked about, we know who McCall is, right? We fact checked him, or we didn't. The studio audience fact checked him live during our show.
Mhm.
So we're gonna now kind of talk and show what we think his comments were.
Yeah.
So yeah, he lied.
It's getting kind of tired in every interview hearing those things.
It really is. So for you, what's the fight about again?
Fairness. It's about respect. It's about what our students deserve.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Mhm.
We're not going back to normal.
We are not going back to normal.
And when I say normal, his normal.
Correct.
Not everyone else's
Right.
normal.
We'd like that normal.
Right. Yeah. The reality of it. You want to do parting thoughts?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So this weekend was the IFT's convention, and that's always a really exciting time. Leaders from all over the state come together. We have a new president of the IFT, Stacey Davis Gates. She gave a great speech that had everybody energized.
Mhm.
And there's also all kinds of workshops that you can go to. And Ray and I don't know if you felt this way. I know Kevin felt this way, but we were kind of like noticed. Okay. Like we went to one workshop and it was about communications, and we were definitely a big part of that. There was a woman in the audience who said, oh, I watched that podcast. And she was from Peoria, and she knew Mr. McCall. She knew his wife got a job that she might not be qualified for.
Right.
You know, and this is just a random woman in
She said
Peoria.
it was must-watch TV on Monday nights.
It is. My friend Brandy in Quincy, she said the podcast is the best thing she's got in her life right now, which is hilarious.
That is.
But I think we keep hearing things like this could turn out to be a book. You could do, this is a big story. This is something that a former teacher said it feels like a Netflix series in the works or something. And we were kind of making fun of it or whatever, but I think at the core of it, it's a really important story. It's a story that we had to tell. And so it's bigger than us. It's about public schools. It's about public trust and about the labor movement.
Yeah, for sure. And if we do write a book, what did I tell you?
I have to write it.
Yeah. But I want 30%. All right. So I end the show a certain way, and I'm going to do that because that's what
You got to give the people what
they want. Yeah. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. You know, you and I talk a lot. Is that fair?
Mhm.
Yeah. And you've said kind of the same thing to me over and over again. I don't want to say that I didn't hear it, didn't understand it, but you've recently said it to me, and it really had a profound impact the way you said it to me. So when you first kind of said this phrase to me, that you've accepted the behavior in Kokia for so long because it just is what happens there, right? You kind of said that you've normalized the behavior that happens. And I think a lot of your members feel that same way because what happens there and what goes on there is just, it happens there. It doesn't happen anywhere else.
Right.
A lot of times in bargaining, I've said, this isn't normal. This isn't normal what happens. You know, you fought the good fight for years as grievance chair, as president, but you've colored inside the lines, right? You've done things the right way. You've played fair, and we're really done playing fair, hence the podcast. But what really changed it for me, and it wasn't too long ago, I mean, maybe it was a week or two ago, you said something that you feel complicit in what's happened with the community and with the students because you were trying to fight the fight in a normal way, like every other union leader fights. And you've decided, you told me in that conversation, I can remember where I was sitting, you told me that you decided that this isn't just about the contract anymore. This isn't about a contract fight. This is about fixing the school system there. And this is about not ever going back to that normal. So it's much bigger. So I want to kind of say to the membership, our 400 members, that if you're feeling this way, it's okay to feel that way. But what we do next is what really matters. What we do next is we fight and we change a system that is completely broken. And it's broken for students. And that's why this fight is for fairness, for respect, and what students deserve. So with that said, I appreciate you. I appreciate your words and your spirit, your fight, and I'm in it with you. So we know he's watching. right?
We do.
So Superintendent McCall, we're coming. Buckle up, Junior.